Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, I of course am the FPL Train. Where on this channel I talk all things Premier League fantasy football, and in today's video I am going to reveal my team selection ahead of game week 20. You might think it's a little bit late or a little bit close to the deadline, and I can't lie, it is. But I've been a little bit lazy the last couple of days, not going to lie. But anyways, I'm going to reveal my team selection for game week 20. Got one free transfer and I've already made it. I'm not going to lie, I've already made it, and you could argue it's a bit reactive, but as a certain player I'm sick of having, I've decided to get rid of him. So before all of that, of course, let's look back on game week 19 and see how I got on. I mean, you can see it anyways, but let's talk about it. 96 points I got overall. I was absolutely buzzing about that because my decision making for a change was spot on. So 96 points, a nice green arrow. Finally back in the top 1 million. Absolutely buzzing about that. So yeah, in goal then I had Martinez. 2 points again. Wasn't expecting anything less. Of course not. Conceded 2 against Brighton. Aston Villa just can't keep a clean sheet to save life. I'm absolutely hating having him in my team, and I regret picking him from the start of the season. And obviously my backup goalkeeper as well, I'll talk about him quickly. He didn't play, which was really, really bloody annoying. I'm not going to lie. So obviously Brentford played Arsenal, and I was begging he was going to start, because obviously Flecken went off injured. But it turned out Flecken's just a pussy, and he was absolutely fine for the next game. So that was rather unfortunate, so I don't have Vladimir's son for game week 20. With my back four then, I have Colwell. Obviously, he decided to get no points because, you know, he just decided no points, clearly. I was a bit surprised, though, to be fair, that they lost 2-0 to Ipswich. And then also the guy got a yellow card, which meant he came away with nothing. So I should have started Smith Rowe instead of him then, it turns out. Rico Lewis did get a clean sheet against Leicester City, but I kind of expected that, to be honest, because, you know, Leicester made the biggest mistake in hiring Ruud van Nistelrooy. They should have hired David Moyes. Why the hell they went for Ruud van Nistelrooy? No experience at all in the Premier League, and they're going to get relegated for it. So, clean sheet there for Rico Lewis. Lewis Hall absolutely smashed it out of the park with 12 points, though. Got a clean sheet. An assist pretty much right at the start of the game against United. 3 bonus points off that. I'm really glad that I've decided to bring him into my team. He's now 4.8 million as well, so I've got quite a bit of money from him as well. So buzzing about him in that performance. And then Delo got 1 point. So that was naff. Absolutely naff from him. I mean, Man United is just, I'm going to say it, they're rubbish. They really are rubbish. It's just embarrassing to watch. So just 1 point from him, and then Charlie Taylor, my other defender, again, didn't get a single minute for Southampton, which, to be honest, I'm kind of confused about, if I'm being honest, because Southampton are crap. There's no other word for it. So why is this guy playing the Premier League last season not starting? I mean, obviously I've not picked him because I thought he would. I picked him because he was 3.9 million. But yeah, shocking that Southampton don't actually give him any minutes. Midfield though, gotta say, pretty happy. So Smith Rowe, I was debating whether to put him on, but the fact that he didn't play the last couple of games for Fulham meant that I was going to leave him on the bench, and he came on with 1 minute to spare. I mean, what a waste of time that was. But he got a point from it. So if I did start him instead of Colwell, I would have actually point. But nevertheless, midfielders though, as a whole, I was really happy with. So obviously I brought in Eze for Bowen, which turned out to be the perfect thing to do because Bowen actually fractured his foot, so he's not played. And Eze has come away with a goal and a nice chunk of change of, well, nice 3 bonus points, should I just say. So absolutely buzzing about that, because obviously when it comes to deciding which midfield to go for, it was really quite difficult. And no offence to Southampton fans, but I wanted to see who was playing Southampton. I saw it was Crystal Palace, and it was literally just between Eze and Sarr. And I decided to go for Eze because I do like Eze. And yeah, absolutely buzzing the fact that he got one of the goals in that win against Southampton. So 10 points from him. Rodgers, quality from him again. 11 points from him. Absolutely buzzing about that. Got a goal and an assist against Bryson. So really happy with that. Shame he got the yellow card though. Could have really done without that. But he did. And there's nothing I can do about that. Cole Palmer, utterly disappointing against Ipswich. He hit the bar, hit the post, didn't score a goal. Really quite annoying that, isn't it? At least he didn't have his captain for this game week. So yeah, only 2 points from him, which is pretty naff for Cole Palmer, especially against Ipswich. You kind of expect more from him. Mo Salah on the other hand, once again, just smashes out the park. He was my captain, so 32 points for me. Thank you very much. Absolutely smashed it, of course. Yet again, he did. It's just, there's no stopping this man, is it? So 16 points he got from the West Ham game. Just the 1 goal, 2 assists, and 2 bonus points. Not 3, 2. But he also got a clean sheet point as well. So he absolutely smashed out the park there. And then my strikers, So obviously I brought Stewart in because I only had 4.4 million left, I think, if I'm right, it's thinking that. So I had to bring him in, but obviously he wasn't going to start. So that meant my two starting forwards were, of course, Erling Haaland, who finally got on the score sheet. God, it's been a while. Got 2 bonus points as well, so he came away with 8. And then my trumps card in Ollie Watkins. I mean, really happy about this guy. So obviously I only brought him in because Duran got sent off, so I knew he was going to be suspended for this game, just gone, and the next game. So that means Brighton, he got a nice goal and an assist, and top it off, 3 bonus points. 3 bonus points, absolutely buzzing about that, so 12 points for him. The Watkins-Rodgers combination was beautiful. 23 points between just 2 players, absolutely buzzing about that. So yeah, 96 points overall. A big green arrow, I mean, I say big, it's the biggest one I've had for a while. So really, really happy with that. My decision making was spot on for that game week. So let's move on to game week 20 and hope for more luck like that. So then, on to game week 20, and starting us off in my back line consists of Martinez in goal, who's got Leicester at home. Now you'd expect that to be a clean sheet, really, wouldn't you? But I can guarantee that won't be a clean sheet. He's going to concede. Now, obviously, if Flecken weren't, playing against Arsenal, I would have gone for Vladimir, who's got Southampton away, which again, not exactly great odds, but I'd rather go for him at this moment than Martinez. So unfortunately, the fact that he didn't play means Martinez is going to be my goalie for this game week. So he's got Leicester at home. We'll see how that one goes. And again, I'm going for a back 4. And you would notice there's been a slight change to the back 4 of them. So the one transfer that I did have was obviously a defensive change. And I've took out Delo for Anthony Robinson. I've took out Delo because I've had enough really of how crap he's been. I've watched him in United play and it's awful to watch. It's a hard watch. Honestly, it's really hard to watch. And the fact that United are away at Anfield, you're just thinking, you know what, this could either be an amazing recovery in a 1-0 win, or United just come away getting spanked 7-0. So I've decided to avoid all of that, and I've brought in Anthony Robinson, who's got Ipswich Town at home. Ipswich obviously just won against Chelsea, so they're on some form. But even then, going forward for Anthony Robinson, he's got the likes of West Ham and Leicester after that. So he's got 3 good fixtures coming up. I brought him in a little bit earlier because his price did go up to 5 million and Delo's was going down as well, so I decided to get in there early before I lost out on some cash. So that's why I've got Anthony Robinson quite early, so quite happy with that, especially the fixture he's got. I mean, the other 3 then, so Lewis Hall's got Spurs away. God knows what's going to happen in that game. I don't think he's going to clean sheet for me, nice. Spurs do score goals, but you never know, he could get an assist because Spurs decide to not defend. Rico Lewis, should I say, has got West Ham at home. Yeah, I think he'll keep a clean sheet. Because obviously Bowen's out injured, so I think he's a talisman, but you never know. The way the way Man City are playing, they could easily concede. And then Colwill got Crystal Palace away. You'd expect a clean sheet, but I don't think he will, if I'm being honest. I think Palace will score, and hopefully it'll be Eze. But yeah, tough game to be honest, but overall I don't think my defence is going to be very good at all this game week, from being honest. And obviously Taylor's not going to play, so that's why he's stuck on the bench. So this is my 4-man midfield that I'm going for this game week. Obviously it was going to be a 4-man midfield because I've only got 2 strikers. Stewart was never going to be, well, he's injured anyway, but he's not like he's going to start for Southampton anyway. But that does mean this is my 4-man midfield, and you would notice obviously I've had to make a slight change, and that is obviously bringing Smith Rowe on for Rodgers, which is obviously a gamble because Smith Rowe might not start or get any game time against Ipswich. I'm kind of hoping he does. It's a gamble, but I'm going to start him anyway. Obviously, Rodgers suspended against Leicester, so that's why he's on the bench. Obviously, if he wasn't suspended, he'd be starting. But the reason why I'm saying it's a gamble is because I went for a defensive change that I didn't need to make when I could have just got Rodgers out of my team and swapped him for somebody else, transferred him out for somebody else. But I couldn't think quite who I wanted. And the fact that Rodgers got Everton then in game week 21, and then yes, I got to a fixture in 22. Game week 23 to 25 is also nice for Aston Villa. So I'm going to hold him on the bench for a game and just gamble on the Smith Rowe thing. Hopefully he starts and smashes it against Ipswich. But I don't think he will, if I'm being honest. So I've probably got a 10-man team in this game week. Eze starts for me, get Chelsea at home. I mean, I'm more happy that it's at home, so he might get a goal. Obviously, when it's a midfielder, I don't care if they win or lose. It's all about if he gets a goal or an assist. So hopefully he can play well against Chelsea, obviously he did play 85 minutes against Southampton, so that's now 2 games in a row. He's pretty much nearly played 9 minutes, so he will be starting that game at least. Cole Palmer in that same game, Crystal Palace away. Anything could happen with Cole Palmer. He could score 3 goals, 4 goals, or he could blank. You just don't know, to be honest. He's a bit crazy, really, but we'll have to see. Same with Ezevo. I don't care if he wins or loses, as long as he gets a load of goals. And that leaves Mo Salah as my last midfielder, and of course, my captain. You'd be stupid not to captain Salah in the form he's in right now, because he's got a return in every game since game week 7. That is absolutely unreal, and we're approaching game week 20. That's how good the guy's been. He has been amazing, and there's only been 2 game weeks all season. So 2 out of the 19 he's played who he's blanked. Unbelievable. The guy's unreal, and it's going to be a shame for Liverpool, when he leaves, because they're going to really miss him. They're definitely not going to win the league next season if he leaves. So yeah, Man United at home, it just looks like he could score 4 or 5 goals, for me, and honest. Especially when he plays on his side, it's going to be low, ain't it? He's just going to run him ragged. So that means, obviously, Salah has to be captain, doesn't he? So yeah, bit of an easy choice, really. But overall, the Palace-Chelsea game is going to be a big game for me, I reckon. And then that obviously leaves me in my front two of Haaland and Ollie Watkins. Haaland, of course, getting West Ham at home. You think at home he can do well against them, but we'll have to wait and see, really. And then Ollie Watkins also at home against Leicester City. Obviously, the whole reason why I brought Ollie Watkins is because, like I said before, Duran got suspended for 3 games. One of them will be probably the FA Cup game, so it's just going to be the Brighton and Leicester game. He's already got 12 points against Brighton. He's now going to face up against Leicester. You'd think he's got a good chance of scoring in that game, because the way Leicester are, they've got the worst centre-halves in the Premier League. Well, one of the worst, behind Southampton's. The fact that they start Vestergaard, it's mind-boggling. It really is, because the guy is so slow. I mean, they've got Connor Cody alongside him. It isn't exactly any faster. So you just think Ollie Watkins is just going to run past them. And if they start Danny Ward, it's game over. It's 4 goals for Ollie Watkins easily. So hopefully he starts then, because that will do me, nicely. So yeah, it could be my last week for Ollie Watkins if Duran does start. It's going to be interesting. I'll have to think about it. But yeah, Leicester City at home, I think he'll smash it, if being honest. So yeah, that is my team. Not much changes. Obviously, the low transfer out for Robinson. I feel that's a good change. It's a gamble, because obviously we don't know how many minutes Smith Rowe is going to play. But I think it's worth it long term, because Man United are crap and Fulham are a much better team. So yeah. Anyway, that is how my team's looking for Game Week 20. Let me know what your teams are looking like for Game Week 20. And let me know what transfers I should have made and what you guys are making ahead of this game week. And before you go, please do not forget to like this video and hit subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next one.